The next era of Bond, starting with Bond 26. What would I like to see from our next James Bond? So I thought about the Craig era coming to a close, and people always go, oh, who's going to be the next James Bond? And I think there's a far more important question to ask. Looking back on the series, the Broccoli's have always done a good job of casting Bond. Parking that and thinking it'll be a safe decision in the end, I have other things on my mind. So here's things I want to see in this next era of James Bond. The first one is a planned series. The Craig era tried to give Bond an arc and continuity, and there was some success depending on different aspects of it. But me as a fan, I'm just greedy. And I think this time they should plan out the next 3 or 5 films. Imagine how good a 5-film or 3-film arc for James Bond could be. But this opinion still stands if the idea is we want to just make standalones. Having a plan in place for the type of movies you want to make into the future will really help with themes, reoccurring characters, or even avoiding the whole we gotta go bigger and bigger thing, which is an issue with the Bond films. Ideally, the books could come back into play. Some of the books are very standalone and others lead into each other. They always reference and call back, and I think the Bond series could do this well. It means also they could shoot films back to back, which is going to be an asset in the future if this scheduling and development stage is always an issue with Bond movies. And then you can have consistent themes and on top of that, a vision for the series. Whether the execution is serialized or standalone, I think a plan is important. Especially when you're attracting talent, you can tell them what you want to do with their characters down the line. This is you in film 1 and we want to bring you here by 3 or 4. The next thing I want to see Bond do again is ski. For some reason, Craig doesn't like skiing. I've heard him say this a few times, and it seems like he vetoed skiing in Spectre. So this is the closest we ever got. Bond and skiing have gone together since On Her Majesty's Secret Service, the novel, and into the film too. Iconic Bond skiing. It's now part of the Bond character. And considering what they were doing with Franz Oberhauser in that film, or Blofeld, whatever, having a ski sequence could have really worked well in Spectre. Tied things up a little neater, especially because Hans Oberhauser taught Bond how to ski. So it could have worked well. I really think they missed a trick there. Here's the next one. They got to leave Italy. I may get pushback on this because Italy is one of the most beautiful countries in the world. But 4 out of the 5 Craig films have been shot in Italy. And usually they've multiple scenes and sequences there. I know Italy really suits Bond, but there are plenty of locations all around the world that this series still needs to go to. And plenty of countries with great tax breaks too. Next one. Aston Martin, yes. DB5, no. Wait, is a Bond fan saying we don't want a DB5 in the Bond series anymore? Well, the answer is yes for now. Craig's Bond has used the Aston Martin DB5 more than Connery. And the DB5 is beautiful, iconic, and part of the series. But the reason it works so well in GoldenEye, Casino Royale, and Skyfall is because it was sort of rare. In GoldenEye, it hadn't been in a Bond film for 30 years. The message was, this is Bond, he's back. After a long absence, bring back the DB5 and everything. In Casino Royale, it's like, this is Bond's origin. We want to show you how everything comes into being. And then in Skyfall, it's a low point in the movie. Bond is on the back foot. And when he opens up those shutters, it's a point of relief. It's like, oh, things could be okay. It's a surprise that lifts the audience. Back in 2012, people cheered when they saw it was the Aston hiding behind the doors. So yeah, he could drive a new Aston Martin or even a different brand, like Roger the Lotus or the Bentley in the novels. But what's rare is wonderful. Let's make the DB5 rare again. This one is kind of weird and you can't put your finger on it, but new situations. The Craig era tried to put Bond in new situations. Now we love Bond and we love the formula. We also like seeing things switched up. So why not try this with the new Bond? We could have a real formulaic film and then one that really changes our expectations. Then we could do something new as well. Like Skyfall was a completely new idea for a Bond film. Next, the tone. I've kind of said that the Connery films or a Casino Royale Quantum tone is what I love with my Bond movies. But it could be time for more jokes. However, it's a fine line. Let's try and keep this series grounded for now, because that seems to be appealing to people. And to be selfish, it's what I like from my Bond. I don't want it to be crazy at this moment in time. Maybe in the future, it should be.
1 inch to the left, 1 inch to the right, emotionally, and it's too real, too truthful, too emotional. The other is too casual, too suave, too devil may care, too camp. You know, you're always walking a knife edge, and you know that suit that he wears most of the time is a kind of straitjacket. You know, you have to hold yourself. There's a bearing. You have to look good. You have to look cool. You're a style icon. You know, these are complicated things. And then also to give an emotional reality to the character, you know, that's tricky.
And this one will be sort of controversial. At least it shouldn't be. But limitations and flaws. James Bond, the character, has flaws. And he's not Superman. With the characterization of Bond, we don't want to sanitize him too much in the new era. It will be tempting to make him like Captain America or Superman. But let's remember that this is a man with issues. He gets the job done and does the right thing, but he's not perfect. He has his problems, he has his vices, and that's what makes these films interesting. He sort of walks the line between good and bad. Thankfully, he's on our side. Style. Look, there's so many videos and things to say about Bond's style, and Craig has done a great job of it. Let's keep that quality into the next era. Bond always has to have that fine balance between a traditional and modern feel. Let's keep Bond cool. Finally, filmmaking energy. Getting great storytellers in to excite audiences could be the move, especially if you're planning the series. Plan it out, get these filmmakers in, writers, and go from there. I've been thinking a lot about From Russia with Love recently. When you get on that train, it feels non-stop. The tension builds, and then climaxes in that fight. We really want to make these films the most exciting for any audience. Bond has a brand, a quality. Let's keep it up. And that's what I want to see with this next era of Bond filmmaking. A bit of a plan, style, filmmaking, a flawed character who will save the world. Nice cars, not necessarily just one nice car though. Action like skiing, brilliant exotic locations, new situations, and a great tone. I'm sure these ideas are already in the back of the heads of people at Eon when they're developing the next era of Bond. If none of those things are what they want to do with Bond, they can't go too wrong just going back to Fleming. Thanks for watching. Kind of an abstract video where I just want to throw out ideas for what we want to see with the next Bond era. It's gonna come sooner or later, probably a lot later. Let me know what you want to see from your next Bond. Would you like him to go to Dubai, the Formula One, as I've said in my other videos? What do you want from Bond? Comment below, shoot the like button, and subscribe too for a Bond video every week.